I'm going to do some exercises today to loosen up and strengthen your shoulders. If you've got a strap or a dressing gown cord or a belt, anything that's long, then you may find that helpful for one of the exercises later on, but you can adapt without it, so just if you have got one, have it to hand. So starting in a seated position, just gently circling your shoulders backwards. You may hear a few pops and clicks as you do this, just as everything's loosening off. And then circling them forwards. And then placing the left hand on the floor, reaching the right arm up, and then just side flexing over to the left. Just keeping your gaze looking forwards. Breathing into that top lung, so you're really feeling the expansion in the side of the body. Make sure you're not straining in your neck at all, and try and avoid twisting, just keeping it a side bend to begin with. And then coming back up and switching your hands over, placing the right on the floor, reaching the left arm up, and then side flexing over to the right. Imagine breathing your breath into that top lung, just trying to create a little bit of space. And then coming back to center and just lowering your arms down. I'm just going to show you from the side now. So just in a seated position, just clasping your hands together behind your back, squeezing your shoulder blades together, and just gently lifting away. So you're opening out across the front of your chest, across the front of your shoulders. Just taking a few breaths there. And slowly lower down. And then just unclasping your hand, and then just walking your fingers out in front of you. And just coming into a gentle fold. Stretching your arms out as much as feels comfortable. And then slowly walking your hands back in. Coming onto all fours now, so onto your hands and knees. Positioning your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And we're just going to start off doing a few rounds of cat and cow. So as you start from a neutral spine position, and then just slowly dropping the belly, lifting the gaze up, and pressing your heart forwards. And then just reversing the motion and drawing the core in, tucking the tailbone under, looking towards your navel, and coming into your angry cat pose. So feeling that stretch across the back of the shoulders in the thoracic spine. And just doing a few exercises, transitioning between the two. Just moving at a rate that feels comfortable for you. If you find any areas feel a little bit tighter, then just directing your focus there and just seeing what you can do to gently loosen them up. And then coming back to a neutral spine. Now taking your right hand and reaching it up towards the ceiling, so you're opening out across the front of the chest, and then bringing that arm slowly down, palm towards you, and then just sliding it on the floor, so you're threading it through and coming into our thread the needle pose, just lowering down as far as feels comfortable. If you're quite open in the shoulders, you may be able to lower all the way down. And you can either stay here, or if you wish to increase the stretch, then lifting that left arm up. And then if you wish to increase it further, then you can just bend that elbow and just hooking it behind your back and just drawing that shoulder back. So you really feel the stretch across the front of the shoulders. And if your arm's behind your back, just releasing it, lifting it back up, placing it on the floor, and just using that hand just to push you back into tabletop position. Now taking the left hand this time, reaching it up towards the ceiling, so you're opening out in your upper back, stretching across the front of the chest, and then bringing that arm down, palm towards you, and then just sliding it through into our thread the needle pose, and just lowering down onto the side of your head if it feels comfortable, or staying up on your forearm. And again, if you feel comfortable in this position and wish to deepen your stretch, you can lift your right arm up, and then if you wish to deepen it further, then bending that elbow and just folding behind your back and just open out that shoulder. And then if you've got that arm behind the back, just straightening out the arm, lifting it up, bringing that right hand back down to the floor and using it to push you up into tabletop position. Now just sitting back on your heels and just taking the arms out in front, so coming into your extended child's pose, and then just lowering your head down. You might want to rest your forehead on the floor, or you may be comfortable a little higher, but just listening to your body. Trying to walk those fingers away so you really feel the stretch in the shoulder. And then slowly walking the hands over to the right so you feel the stretch in the left side of the body and the left lats a little bit more. And then coming back to centre, and then taking your arms over to the left side. Feel the stretch in the right side of the body. And then coming back to centre. And then slowly walking your hands forwards. You can stay on your forearms if you want, but have your hips stacked over your knees. Either staying here, or if you wish to deepen the stretch, then just lowering your chest towards the ground and coming into puppy stretch. So the important thing is here, you don't want to feel any strain in the neck. You may want to rest your forehead on the ground, or you may wish to keep your gaze forward. But just lowering that chest down to the floor, opening up the upper shoulders and back. Slowly walking your hands back in, and just come to lower your body down onto the floor. Taking your arms out to 90 degrees now, and 90 degrees at the elbow, so you're coming into a cactus arms position. And I just want you to start off just straightening that right arm and just slightly pushing yourself away, so you're coming to weight bear more through that left arm, and then slowly down. And then doing the same with the left arm, straightening out. And slowly down. You can either stay like this, or if you wish to add in the leg, just to increase a bit more of a whole body stretch, and you're just taking that right leg up, bending the knee, opening out the hip, and as you straighten that right arm, just allow that right leg to just come over, maybe getting your toe towards the floor, but just getting a bit of a stretch just front of the body into the hip, and then slowly coming back and lowering that leg down. And now doing the same on the other side, so lifting that left leg up, bend the knee, open out the hip, and straightening that left arm, and just opening out across the front of the body. And then extending that leg out and slowly down. And then just bringing your hands underneath you and just pressing back again into child's pose, just stretching your arms out in front. And now coming back onto your hands and knees, I'm going to come up into downward facing dog. So uncurling your toes, placing your hands roughly underneath you, fingers nice and active, so you're pressing through the fingertip and the heel of the hand and the palm of the hand slightly lifted. And then just drawing your core in and just pressing up into that upturned V for downward facing dog. And just bending one knee and then the other, just to loosen off that position. And then taking the right hand, and then I want you just rotating it back so you're reaching back for that left ankle and just looking under your right armpit. And then bringing that hand down to the floor, and then doing the same on the other side, so lifting up the left arm and then rotating it back towards that right ankle and just looking under your right armpit. Placing that hand down, and then again just bring a bit of movement to the pose, so walking the dog, bending one knee then the other, just pressing your heels towards the floor. And we're going to do a few down dog press-ups. So with this we're going to let the elbows go out to the side, just coming into a static down dog position, and we're opening the elbows out, lowering the head down towards the ground and then pressing up. If that feels too much, just do micro bends and straighten. You're still going to be working the same muscles. And then bending the elbows and press away. Bend and press away. Bend and press away. Bend and press away. We'll just do one more. Bend and press away. And then just dropping the knees down, placing the forearms on the floor this time, palms facing down, roughly shoulder distance apart, so you can just pivot your forearm just to get your spacing right. Hands pressing into the ground, and we're going to come up into dolphin pose, which is like down dog but with your forearms on the floor. And this is a really good preparation pose for a lot of the arm balances, because it opens out the shoulder and gives you the strength required to take your body weight through your arms and upper body. So uncurling the toes, drawing the core, and then just pressing up onto your forearms and coming up into dolphin. Now if you're not used to this pose, it can feel quite strong, so you may wish to just bend and straighten in and out of that pose just to get a feel for the weight going into the arms. Or if you wish to make it a bit more difficult, then you may want to walk your feet in a little bit so your weight's going down through your shoulder girdle a little bit more, and it's just opening up the shoulders a bit more. And we'll just hold that for a few seconds. And then bending the knees and coming down to the floor. And then just taking your arms out in front of you again into child's pose. And if you wish, you can bend your elbows and just bringing your hands together into prayer pose, so you're just having a bit more of a tricep stretch. And just take a few breaths there. slowly coming up. Just coming back into a seated position now. Taking your right arm in front of you, shoulder roughly at 90 degrees, elbow at 90 degrees. Taking your left arm underneath, and you can either just bring your hands so they're sort of roughly back to back, or if you wish to take it further, bringing them back to back and then taking that left arm round and through and coming into your eagle pose, so bringing your palms together. You can keep your stretch here, or if you wish to open out more in the shoulders and just lifting the arms up. Switching the arms over, so taking that left arm out to 90, the right arm underneath, and then scooping your arms round, either bringing the palms together or the backs of the hand. And then again, to deepen the stretch, just lifting the arms up more. So for the next exercise, it's the one that you might wish to grab a band or a strap for, just to assist you in this pose. So we're coming into cow face arms. It means we're lifting up one arm, placing it between our shoulder blades, taking the other arm back, and then we're aiming to interlace our fingers. So feel a stretch in that top arm triceps and across the front of the shoulder, the other arm. To do it with a strap and taking the arm up in front of you, dropping the strap down your back, and then with your arm that's underneath, just taking hold of the strap and just gradually walking your hands towards each other, not feeling any strain at all, just listening to your body, trying to keep that top arm opened out, so we're stretching across the front of the triceps and then just drawing that bottom arm back so you really feel the stretch across the front of the shoulders, and just breathing into that stretch. And then slowly walk your hands away and release, and then switching over arms, so taking the other arm up the top, dropping the strap behind, reaching back with the other arm, and then just walking the hands towards each other, just using the strap to draw them in. You can take hold of your clothes if you haven't got a strap handy, but you can use anything like a jumper, just any bit of material. But just bringing your arms towards each other, keeping that top arm opened up so you feel the stretch across the front of the triceps, and drawing that bottom arm back. And breathing into that stretch. And then slowly walking your hands away and release, and just giving your shoulders a few rolls, and a few rolls in the other direction. And that's your shoulder mobility and strengthening exercise.